It was the fourth adult confirmation class, and my deep desire, and I'm sure some of my team is here, our deep desire is that these adults, before they get confirmed, they may learn what Jesus Christ did for them. It's the most basic thing, right? Before we can teach them about the Holy Spirit, I desire that they learn what Jesus did on the cross. And so we showed them this video they literally showed a clip of the Passion, and we told them, we said, look, this is very graphic. You're going to see what Jesus did for you. And as you would imagine, I thought that people would welcome that, right? And then there was a complaint that it was too much. They didn't want to see that. And as you can imagine, I really reflected on this, and I thought, should I have not showed them that video? It's the Passion of Christ. What do you want me to do, right? And I really reflected, and I'm realizing, like, maybe they had a bad day, maybe they had a difficult time at work, all those things. But, my prayer was, I realized that for all of us, we are reminded once a year of what Jesus did for us, for most of us, right? On Good Friday, we remember. And for most of us, we go through the world just like living our life. When we struggle, we think, okay, God, are you listening to me? But he's like, look, I am. I'm listening to you. And when you look at our first reading, St. Paul he's literally about to be jailed. He's about to die. He knows that he will never see the community ever again. Think about that. He will die. He will never see them again. He doesn't know when he will die. He doesn't know when he will be in prison, but he knows this is his final goodbye and his farewell. And he says this. He's speaking to the bishops, speaking to the priests, giving them his final message of hope and faith and fighting for God's truth. And this is what he says. He says, this church, I'm paraphrasing, this church was bought with a price. What language is that, friends? The church was bought with a price. The price of what? Blood. That's what he says. And I read that this morning. I thought, what does that mean, bought with a price? It costs something, right? A lot of times when we look at the cross, we're so used to it already. We're like, oh, that's nice. Friends, it wasn't nice back then. It was horrific and tragic. And last time I shared this, on Good Friday, I watched a Passion. For 20 minutes, I paused the video and I walked around pacing and praying. I said, this is too much. I said that. I said, I can't bear to see them whip you. But then I realized that my sin did that to Jesus. But we don't want to think about it. We don't want to talk about it. It's very uneasy for us, but this is the reality. And my hope and my prayer is that we may never forget, but this is why I've said this for the last week, is we are preparing for the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is what convicts us, encourages us, moves us, pushes us, reminds us to live this faith. St. Paul's message is this: be careful, be aware, and keep fighting for your faith. He is going to die. And so he's entrusting the faith to those who will lead, but God has entrusted this to us as well. Now for the gospel. Briefly, John 17, remember how I told you Jesus' final words to his disciples before he goes? This is his final prayer now to the Father. And his prayer is this, I'm going to hone in on it. He says, I give you all of them to you, Father, meaning all of us. I give them to you. They are in the world, meaning we are all in the world, but they are not part of the world. So imagine, Jesus says he has created us, redeemed us, died for us. He puts us in this world. He doesn't want us to be in the world, meaning we are in the world for a purpose, but we are not of the world. And so he says, I consecrate them in truth. I give them to you, dear Father. My dear friends, we are in the world, but how can we be in the world and not of the world? Except by the power of the Holy Spirit in Jesus' prayer. And so my hope for us is, as you understand this message, Jesus says that he tells this to his disciples because he is sending them out. So think about this. Jesus knows he's going to die, and he entrusts everything to his disciples, but asking the Holy Spirit to guide. And the same thing with St. Paul. You see the patterns. It is the same thing with you. You and I are entrusted with this beautiful faith, this beautiful church that was bought with a price, let us never forget what it costs. Our faith must be so strong that we don't just come to Mass because we want to receive. We come to Mass so we receive, and then what happens when we go out that door? We give. We give our life away. We sacrifice, we serve, we surrender, and we trust. Because Jesus has entrusted everything to us on that cross. And we respond with our love back.